Good day, YouTubers. Today I want to try something a little different. I want to talk to you about never reveal your plans. This is similar to Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, chapter 3, where he says, conceal your intentions. Robert Greene advises several things. Top among them, he says, keep people in the dark, use decoys, okay, or lead them down the wrong path. 3, blend in. Don't be conspicuous. Don't stick out. And number 4, then this is not from Robert Greene. Talking about your goals makes you less likely to achieve them. Why should we never reveal our plans? Well, because obviously people will always try to stop you from achieving your goals. They will always sabotage you. And it's interesting, I watched a whole bunch of videos on this topic and nobody brought this point up. That's so obvious. So let's start with point number 1, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go into a real life example that I lived from my life, and I hope it's illustrative to you. So number 1, keep people in the dark. Just be silent. Don't tell people. This is really easy to do with people you don't have a lot of contact with, but it may be almost impossible for you with people you have regular contact with. Okay, so this is a limited use strategy. Number 2, use decoys and lead them down the wrong path. Okay, in this strategy, you tell people that you have different goals than what you have. These may be much more minor goals, goals that are not important to you, or goals that you don't have at all. And feel free to speak very openly about these goals that you really don't have, because that puts people's focus on those goals and doesn't get them interfering with your real goals. Number 3, blend in. Okay, this is the gray man strategy. Don't stick out. Just blend into the crowd. This is a huge problem for me. Okay, because, and I'm not bragging or anything, but I'm a natural leader. And when I walk into a group, I very frequently become the natural leader. I think I have too strong of a presence. I love to be controversial. I love to, exchange witty repartee, and I love to, push people and offend people and test people. And the women always notice me, and maybe that's why I do it. And the soy boy beta males, they're always jealous of me, and so I always become a target. Now, I do notice when I'm officially the leader of a group, okay, and I have the title of leader, people love it, and nobody steps to me. But when I'm not the leader and I walk into any group, and I'm clearly a very natural leader, and and people are looking to me for leadership more than the appointed leaders, I always get attacked by the young lions and the soy boys because I don't hold the actual position of leadership. Whereas I do notice that, and I've been in many positions of actual leadership, when I hold the actual position of leadership, I don't get attacked because that's my official position. So blend in. Don't stick out. And for me, that means when people start reacting to me like I'm running everything, I just disappear and start ghosting, and let the real leaders, if they're going to stumble, if they're going to fall, if they're going to do great, that's on you, man. It's not on me. Okay, number 4, talking about your goals makes you less likely to achieve them. This is very interesting because they actually did a study. In 2010, this research group did a study of 163 people. Half of the people were told to tell everyone about their goal. Okay, talk freely and tell everyone. The other half of the people were told to tell no one about their goal. Now, both groups were given 45 minutes to write about their goal. Okay, but they could stop at any time. One half of the group that told everyone, they worked only 33 minutes on average out of the 45 minutes. The other half of the group who told no one at all, they all worked on average the full 45 minutes. When asked about the progress, those who told everyone, they were super confident in their achievements. And those who told no one, felt that they had a lot more work to do before they would achieve their goal. And so, literally, what's happening here is the mind tricks you into believing you have accomplished what you've talked about. And this is definitely true. Don't talk about it, just do it. So, in the interest of time, I'm going to give you one example, one real life example from my life of the application of these principles. Interestingly, I was both very successful at applying these principles, and also at the end, it all started to unravel, and I was quite unsuccessful at the end because the principles were beginning to be violated. So here's the example. And it's when I published my book, Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. I literally told no one I was writing this book. And I was very, very, very intentional about doing this. I literally didn't tell anybody. And what's interesting is I was focusing my efforts on the various playing card groups where they read playing cards. And I was commenting and using my new cartomancy method and basically giving it a dry run. I wanted to see how people would react to it and what kind of comments and feedback I would receive. Well, how did it go? It went great. Okay. It was superlative. Okay. The feedback was wonderful. And I started getting lots and lots and lots of requests for professional paid readings from me, which I didn't have any way to collect money. I didn't have, I wasn't doing that at the time. I've since done that, and then I've stopped again. But I was getting so many readings, I stopped doing readings. So anyway, at the time, I was not doing any professional paid readings. So a lot of requests for professional readings because they considered me a professional. And then the other thing is a whole lot of people, like so many people said, you should write a book. You're so good at this. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a nice idea. But I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone I had written a book, and I'd already written it. Okay, it was already down, and I was just editing it, and I was just going through it and testing it and seeing what people's reactions were to it. So where did it start to fall apart? Okay, so I had this friend overseas. I was living in Miami at the time. Okay, and my friend, he was gay, so he's on another continent. Okay, I'm in North America, he's on another continent. And he's going to go visit his gay lover in like Pennsylvania or New York, something like that. And then because we're friends, he's going to come down and visit me. I'm in Miami, and we're going to go party. I'm like, heck yeah, dude, come on down. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's do it. We're going to go to South Beach. We're going to, he's going to be like a magnet. I'm going to meet all these cool people because nobody knows how to party like gay people. I mean, they're the best. Okay. So I was really excited. So he wanted to Skype with me. So I Skyped. So basically we could see each other. Okay. And it's a good idea that I would see him because we're going to need to recognize each other. I'm going to pick him up from the airport. He needs to recognize me. I need to recognize him. And if one of us is kind of weird, we seem really normal online, but then you never saw the person, so we need to see each other. So as we're chatting, I shared about my book that I'd just written. I'd written the whole thing. I was just kind of thinking it through and testing it and running test runs on it. And I was estimating that I was just a few weeks out. I just needed to edit it, go over it again and again. And then it was going to go live. And we had a very nice conversation. He was a great guy. I had a very good opinion of him after the conversation. I was really looking forward to having him come, and we were going to just party like rock stars on South Beach. It was going to be a lot of fun. So what actually happened? Well, the moment he hung up, he immediately contacted one of the most famous cartomancers on the planet and told him I had written a cartomancy book. And this man is like his idol. He wants to be just like him because that's how we know each other. We know each other through these Facebook cartomancy forums. So literally the next day, I go through my day, I do my thing. And the next day after I spoke to him, I'm online and I'm just randomly in one of the groups that I go to, and I see a thread with 250 comments on it from this famous cartomancer. And the thread is, hey, if I write a book, what book would you like me to write? And I'm like, I start choking. Okay, I'm choking on my coffee. Because if this guy puts out a book on the same topic that I just wrote my book, or even if he puts it out on a similar topic, you know, at a similar time, my book is completely dead. I just wasted 3 months of my life and just flush it down the toilet. Okay, so now everyone is chattering about me writing a book, literally, because he's also talking to people. So he told the most famous, really famous cartomancer, one of the most famous cartomancers in the world, and then he's going around telling everybody too. And so I'm getting like 100 PMs. Hey, are you writing a book? I deny everything. I say I'm thinking about writing a book. I just deny, 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 deny. I'm thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it. So a good friend of mine, she was also told about my book from, quote, sources unknown. And so she's like, I know you wrote a book. And she's like, I'll help you edit this book. And so finally, I admit that I wrote a book because she's a really smart lady. She makes over 100K a year. She has a couple of master's degrees, very intelligent lady. And I'm like, maybe this is a good idea. So I send her the first 3 chapters of my book to edit. Okay, you see how it's falling apart. Now more people are sending me messages from all over the world, okay, asking about my book. They know I've written a book because there's actual chapters of my book out there circulating. So I'm talking to my friend again, the editor friend. I said, did you tell anybody? No, of course not. You told me to keep it a secret. Are you sure? Well, just this one person. Okay, and maybe this other person. Okay, these are the people who are messaging me, and they know I've written a book now. Okay, I can't keep it a secret anymore. Everyone is talking about my book, and my book is not out, and there's literal chapters of it out there. Okay, I can't keep saying I didn't write a book because there's actual chapters out. Okay, and here's a principle for you. 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Okay, people cannot keep a secret. Nobody will ever keep a secret. Okay, so she's editing my book, and I keep asking her about the edits because the fire's getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and everybody's asking me about this book, and I just keep deny, 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 deny. Okay, and it kind of works. People who don't know me like really, really well, they're like, oh, okay. And they also respect my denial. That's an interesting thing that happens too. Even if people know you're not really telling the truth, they respect your denial. They respect the fact that you don't want to talk about it. So, but it's getting hotter, and some of the people who are really closer to me, they know I've written a book because I think they've actually seen the chapters. Okay, because I sent out 3 chapters to her to edit. And so I'm asking her because it's just getting hotter and hotter. And I'm like, do you have any edits? And I don't want to push her too hard because I'm not paying her. She's doing other things. She's a busy lady. I'm a busy guy. But it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here, so I feel like I'm dancing on a fire. Finally, she sends me some edits, but it's just the first chapter. And the edits are good. But I look at the edits and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to take like a year to edit the book this way. And I don't have it. Okay, I don't have a month. I don't even have 2 weeks. I need to get this book out, like now. Okay, what are my conclusions? Number 1, there's a huge risk from the famous cartomancer. I can't wait months and months. I can't wait a year. I can't wait 6 months. I can't wait. I got to get this book out because if he puts something out before me or even concurrent with me, my book could be completely dead in the water. Okay, what about my overseas friend? Was he malicious? No. He was a gossip. Okay, by blasting out my secret to everyone, he made himself immediately the center of all attention. He just simply didn't care if I got hurt from it. He didn't care. He was a gossip. It was all about him. Okay, what about all of my other friends and my contacts worldwide? None of these people were malicious. Okay, but their knowledge of my project created only exponential snowballing problems for me. And the problems just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger the more people who knew. And I want to emphasize that none of these people were malicious. Okay, none of them were intentionally malicious. Okay, but they created so many problems for me. So what's my conclusion? Don't tell anyone your plans, okay, or intentionally mislead them. Once you have completed your goal, Hey, you can tell everyone. Blast it out to the whole world and ask them to tell everyone, and know that anyone you tell is going to tell everyone. And there is nothing anyone can do to stop you after you have accomplished your goal. Okay, and it's just that simple. Don't tell anybody your plans or intentionally mislead them and tell them about plans that you don't actually have. So how did my book work out? Well, my book made it all the way to #1 for a brief time. Now, these things change like every 7 minutes, and I can watch it on Amazon and see what's going on. But it was top 10. It was top 10 in its little subcategory for at least a year. Okay, and even now, I just looked it up. It's still top 25 in some categories, and this is 5 years in. Okay, so my book has done very well. So keep your plans a secret. Tell people after you've accomplished your goal. That's it. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And remember, sharing your plans can be really dangerous.